Hello and welcome to the Hot Dog and Handshake Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Jayden Ginswider. Joining me is my co-host, Shane Price. Shane, how you doing this week?
I'm pretty good. I got paid $75 to sit and watch Super Bowl for 5 hours last shift.
Nice. We are coming to you from Sound Peak Audio Design and Development in Topeka, Kansas. On this week's show, we will talk about the WWE releases. We'll get into what was a packed week of TV, as well as predict New Japan's New Beginning. But as always, we will start with the Collar Elbow question. So, as you mentioned, last night, as we're recording this, was the Super Bowl. And then yesterday, before the Super Bowl, I sent you a list of quarterbacks that I wanted you to come up with wrestler comps for. So we will start with the Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, I believe, Jalen Hurts. Who's your
So I was thinking before the Super Bowl, that just changed a lot of things. He's a guy who is near top of his craft. Wasn't at first, but he's now a champion. Cody Rhodes.
Okay, I like that. Who is on the other side of the Super Bowl coin? Who is Patrick Mahomes?
So I had two ideas for this. For Chiefs fans, I would say he's the beloved, long reigning champion. I'm thinking that's got to be like a Kenta Kobashi or a Bruno or somebody like that. He's Hulk Hogan. Long reigning and hated.
Is he?
He's hated by a lot of people these days. So
but not
for
the
not
reasons.
The Hulk Hogan reasons, but he's hated.
Yeah, because I think it's almost more.
What did I say? Is Bob Backlund what?
Well, no, I was gonna say like post WrestleMania 39 Roman. His reign has gone too long. Everybody's tired of it.
Yeah,
but he's still very, very good at what he does.
Yeah. And Hogan was never good at what he does.
Yeah.
So I'll give you Roman.
All right, we'll go to the NFL's reigning MVP, Josh Allen, who shouldn't have won MVP, by the way. We'll get to that.
Yeah, well, it's fine. It's whatever. He didn't have one, so you need to get one. It's funny because he's never won the big one, but by himself, he's known as a good wrestler. Who does that remind you of?
Never won the big one, but by himself is known as a good. I don't know who you hinting at here.
Just when I think of that, I think of like my mind went first to Monty Brown. Because of
course your mind.
Of course it did.
To Monty Brown.
But I was thinking like, this kind of also sounds like a AEW. I'm blinking on his name, but it's an AEW. Darby.
Darby?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I like that. Up and comer. The guy who should have won MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Kind of like, because he knows it's a two-way. He's the dual threat quarterback. So I try to think of a wrestler who's like the two-way, but wrestling isn't.
Wrestling's two-way would be like a promo guy, in-ring guy. You know what I mean?
I was thinking not in terms of like.
Yeah, I think kind of around his age, like young but established.
Yeah. So I want to say promo and in-ring, post 2015 Cena came to mind immediately for me. That was like
post 2015 who?
Cena.
But
yeah. In terms of age.
Yeah, age and kind of being
I guess
established but not a world champion yet.
I would say Maxwell Beasley been champion, obviously. MJF would maybe go at 2020 MJF.
MJF before he finally won the title. Yeah. What about Joe Burrow?
Joey B.
Great, maybe held back by the situation he's in.
Yeah, I was going to say. To me, I'm thinking of immediately Josh Alexander.
Oh, that's a great one. That is actually
held back by TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing as Joey Burrow. He's on a place that can be great. He has tools around him that are great. Just put together, there's always that one big flaw.
A guy who was in the wrong situation but got his way out of it and is great now, Jared Goff.
There's a lot of people this could be. I'm going to say Ethan Page.
Okay. You think he's found his spot in WWE?
He's found a spot in NXT. He's in the base game of 2K25.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
He was kind of lingering in AEW as like this pre-show guy, and now he's a big day deal in NXT.
What about Brock Purdy? Young, out of nowhere. No one expected him to be as good as he ended up being.
Well, I kind of had a hint he'd be good. I saw him beat KU to death for 3 times.
Yeah, but at that time, everybody was beating KU to death.
That's a fair point. A fair point. This one it's a controversial pick because some people love Brock Purdy, some people hate Brock Purdy.
A lot of people think he's only good because of the situation he's in, which is a way you could take this.
Yes.
Someone who's only good in the company they're in, but would maybe be lesser somewhere else.
Which is why I'm thinking, I want to go like that because I do like Brock Purdy, but when I play him in fantasy, he always lets me down. So I want to go with a guy who I liked at first, and now he's at the main roster, has let me down consistently. Solo Sikoa.
Ooh, okay, I like that. Kind of maybe he was just a product of the family that was around him. At first,
Purdy is the
what
Shanahan.
was that? I was gonna say, does that make Roman his Shanahan?
I mean, it would.
Baker Mayfield. Who do you got for him? Journeyman.
I want
pretty good everywhere, but never really found a landing spot.
Kind of the same boat as Goff, in a way, which made me think of something like that. I want to go with. He was the savior of this one place. He left, went to a different place for only a little bit, and then had a crazy debut on a new team,
Mm-hmm.
and then went on to be one of the better quarterbacks in the league. AJ Styles.
With AJ Styles, okay. So AJ leaving TNA is Baker leaving Cleveland. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
And then I did give you 2 legend throwback picks here. Let's start with Dan Marino.
This was hard.
All-time great.
This was really hard.
Super skilled.
I was trying.
Never won the big one.
I was thinking really hard, like, wrestlers never won the big one. I'm like thinking, like, who's my favorite wrestler?
You know who immediately came to mind for me? Mr. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Never won the big one.
You're
Insanely skilled.
Especially, actually, looking at the end of their careers, Mr. Perfect displayed out of hell. Dan Marino got blown out in his last career game in the playoffs. It was even close. Bad endings to their respective careers. They were the big one. Were one of the better guys in their thing.
And then, of course, Tom Brady.
Hulk Hogan.
Oh, I was going to say Cena.
Hulk Hogan, because he's hated because he's.
But Cena was also hated at the height of his powers, remember?
Yeah, but Cena's no longer hated.
I think we'll get to a point where Brady's no longer hated.
By the majority of Americans, sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, you'll get to a point, because, I think every time there's a dynasty, a lot of people will hate them. But then by the end of it, they're kind of looked back on with respect.
Yeah, but it takes them, like, Jordan's dynasty took, 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots dynasty is going to take more because they had all the cheating allegations in it, too.
I guess that's true, yeah. You could go Hogan, because that kind of plays into Hogan's political thing.
Yeah.
Okay, you go Hogan. That's pretty good. All right, you want to get into the news of the week?
Sure.
Some pretty bleak news. Should we just jump into the bad stuff that happened around AEW this week, or should we start with something kind of upbeat? What would you like to do?
There's a lot of bad news, a lot of good news.
What do you want first? The good stuff or the bad stuff?
Let's start with the good stuff. There's less of that this week.
The fun thing that happened for AEW outside the ring this week was on the Jericho Cruise, where there was a reuniting of the former Enzo Amore and the former Big Cass. Did you see this clip?
I did.
It was incredible. Everyone on that boat still knew every word to that promo.
Of course.
That was a really, really fun thing to see.
Did you also see that while Christopher Daniels may have retired, Curry Man got his last match on the cruise?
I did have that in the quick hits later on, but yes. Curryman announces his retirement from wrestling on Chris Jericho Cruise.
Which brings up a good point. Christopher Daniels is retired. Curryman retired. You know, was it? The Fallen Angel.
The Fallen Angel. Well, also, it would have been funny if the Curryman didn't retire, but just somebody else took up the shtick.
No.
Like Danhausen wrestled as Curryman. Curryhausen.
He removes the mask, reveals it's been him the whole time, to no surprise.
Yeah.
And Danhausen just sneaks out of the ring and takes the mask.
Like the mask in the movie The Mask.
Yes. Literally.
Yeah. And then pretty bleak stuff here. Bear Boulder fired by AEW after a January arrest for strangulation. He choked out his girlfriend. It was a domestic violence situation. Bear Boulder is gone. It appears Bear Bronson and Jack Jameson will continue as a tag team on Ring of Honor, I assume.
I don't know.
But obviously, our hearts go out to the victims here, and rightfully fired by AEW, but it feels like it's something worth mentioning. We also have a few people leaving AEW. This is kind of middle of the road news, depending on your outlook on AEW. Malachi Black, Miro, and Ricky Starks. So what we're going to do is we're going to start a game here. Every time there are releases, we play this game, which is where would you like to see this person or tag team wrestle next? So we'll start here, and we'll transition into the WWE releases from here. Let's start with Malachi Black.
WWE.
Okay. I guess is this? Do we want to play where do we think they'll go, or where do we want them to go?
That's my answer for both.
Okay. WWE. I mean, obviously, his wife, Zelina Vega, works there. His best run in wrestling was under Triple H.
His best AEW matches are against Cody.
Yep.
Cody's in WWE.
Yeah. So, what about Miro? Do we see a return of Rusev?
Probably. I do want to see him go on a Japan run, just for the memes, but WWE sounds like the most logical place.
Yeah. He feels like he'd be a fun guy to reintroduce at the NXT level first.
I would say so, yeah.
Reintroduce him and because put him in the ring with Obafemi. Like, come on. Ricky Starks. Obviously, there's some connection there with Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. He was friendly with both of them.
I think he's gonna go WWE.
Yep.
I think he'll be NXT though.
He will be. I think he'll have to go through NXT. I don't think he's. I don't know, because I wouldn't have thought Jade would have been a big enough thing to go straight to main roster.
Yeah, but that's
different.
That's different.
How?
Jade was gonna be this big deal because she was the first.
But Cody was the first.
Well, minus Cody.
You know what I mean? I guess she was the first homegrown.
Yeah.
There's that. Yeah. I don't know. I can just see it because I also kind of thought they were going to make Penta go to NXT
also,
first.
Jade looks like a $10 trillion, whereas Ricky Starks is not.
I don't know. It feels like my bar used to be AJ Styles skipped NXT, and then now the bar's kind of been lowered because obviously, all respect to Jade and Penta, they aren't AJ Styles. So
yeah,
I guess the bar's been lowered.
That Nakajima will skip NXT whenever he comes. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully. So yeah, I guess those are the three that we know have left AEW.
Well, two of those still. Ricky is still question mark for now, but he's off the roster page.
He's off the roster page. Malachi Black is off the roster page and has been announced.
Miro's been announced.
So I assume Ricky's gone. Which Ricky just won the Defy title.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's going to WWE, he'll have to drop that to somebody.
Maybe he's going on anyone a little bit.
Maybe he goes on. Yeah, that'd be fun.
With that GCW booking.
Yeah, take some collective bookings or WrestleMania weekend adjacent stuff.
I mean, Deadlock's doing stuff there. Maybe he'll work for Dragon Gate. Who knows?
House of Glory Defied always is involved with somebody, So, on to the WWE releases. Let's start with Cedric Alexander.
AEW.
I was gonna say,
come on. He hurts people.
He hurts people. He'll probably go to the Hurt Syndicate, reunite the full four. We'll be back together. What about the Good Brothers? Carl Anderson.
I don't want to see him go nowhere personally.
It feels like the typical thing where they'll either go to TNA or they'll go to New Japan.
I can see him going to AEW this time. I'll be honest. I think that
there are
Young Bucks
rumblings that. Well, because apparently AJ Styles' contract comes up soon. I think later this year. So there are people who think that Tony might sign the Good Brothers as a way to try to pull AJ in when AJ's contract ends. I don't know. It's weird because there's this tier of guys. It's like AJ, Owen, Sammy.
They're never going to beat the All Friends allegations if they sign the Good Brothers, though.
They're never going to beat the what?
All Friends wrestling allegations.
Yeah. But there's this tier of guy, like AJ, Sammy, and KO, where they would make more sense in AEW, but they seem pretty happy with what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Because I don't get to do whatever they want every week, pretty much.
Because there's better management. They'll make more money in WWE. There's better,
Kevin Owens is packaged powder people now. He's not going to leave.
So AJ may just end up staying in WWE for the rest of his career. The Good Brothers, like I said, TNA or New Japan, probably. Carl Anderson currently injured, so kind of shitty to fire someone while he's injured, but
He's going to go to ECW, make a big name for himself. That's what he's going to do.
going to go to GCW and make a big name for himself.
Why'd you bring that twice coming up? Why would you do that to me?
Sonya Deville. For one, I want to see her on Bloodsport.
Immediately.
I don't know where she signs a contract with. Because, by the way, with these WWE releases, other than Sonya Deville, the way this works, I explain this every time to make sure everybody's aware. The 90-day clause they have, it's because they weren't told this week that they are fired. They were told that they will be fired in 90 days. So they're still collecting paychecks, but they're going to be off TV until May. And in May, they will be released. It gives them 3 months to figure out their next job, their next bookings, whatever. We're seeing this right now. Like the last round of these releases was about 3 months ago. So like Indy Hartwell and Tegan Knox are starting to be able to set up some indie dates and announce some of that stuff. But Sonya Deville is a different case because she was just told that her contract will not be renewed and is set. And according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, her contract is up in a number of weeks. That's all the information we have. So Sonya Deville could show up at Bloodsport. Could show up at WrestleMania weekend events.
It's so clear she's going to do big game brunch and Bloodsport to me.
Yeah, those would be. We also, when we talked about this, I floated the idea of big gay Bloodsport, which would be an incredible show.
I don't know.
Crossover show.
Sonya.
What if it's like the big gay brunch people versus the Bloodsport people?
Oh my god.
And like one match will be Bloodsport rules, and then some match will just be some random goofy stipulation.
Hobby actually work really well for that.
So Sonya Deville, do you think she'll go AEW, TNA, maybe a Japan run? TNA probably. For women, it's really easy to just throw them all in TNA because TNA always books the knockout division so well, except for Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah.
But other than that, they're usually really good with the knockouts division. It's like the one great
it's the
thing
one
they
thing
do.
I go over them.
Yeah. The Authors of Pain.
I have no idea.
Japan run would be fun.
Yeah.
Just think two beasts in Japan. Like they don't have to talk. They can just go. They do whatever. They can just
all Japan belts already boarded up for them. Then,
like they could go to New Japan. Just like
two big not Japanese dudes. The all Japan belts are warmed.
What if they join? Is it just 4 guys at this point?
Yeah.
What if they join just 4 guys? Because just six guys, and they just don't talk, and they're just huge next to those other dudes.
Talking with Shinoku and all Japan trios match would be great.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a really wild card. They could just do indie stuff.
I mean,
they could go any number of directions. What about Paul Ellering? Do you think he'll go with AOP?
Should go to AEW.
Yeah.
A talented guy. But he could also retire.
What talent would you want to pair him with at AEW?
Any heel.
Would you put him with the Hounds of Hell?
I can see that.
Brody and Buddy.
You fit in,
Julia.
He would fit in, yeah.
Or but they're kind of baby faces, so he could be.
It's also Hounds of Hell.
Ooh,
the issue of Hounds of Hell.
He should go with Roosh.
Oh, yeah.
With LFI.
Yeah, you're right.
That would be awesome.
You're right. Which is funny because Paul Ellering was the best part
of AOP.
Of that whole stable.
Oh, of the whole Karrion Kross situation.
In that, when I saw him live, he was the best part of that stable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just gets it. Dude just gets wrestling. Isla Dawn, former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. Probably some European indies.
Maybe ICW, Progress, those ones.
Rev Pro.
But I would like to see her in AEW.
Yeah, she'd be good. Another one that would make a good knockout. She could go like the Marigold Stardom route.
I just don't want to put them all in. I don't want to put all of them.
All the women
TNA.
in the
yeah, because it makes the most sense to go TNA.
Mm-hmm. Giovanni Vinci.
I have no idea.
Probably European indies. Probably back to that. Probably American indies.
Maybe like a
controversial podcast appearance.
Yeah, maybe. I do not like the Triple H.
Seems like something happened there.
Bobbity-boobity.
He got kind of hastily pulled out of Imperium, and then they just never really did anything else with him.
And they brought him, and they do bring something with him, and they make him lose immediately.
Yeah, I remember they did that Apollo Crews thing, and at the time I was like, all right, let's let this play out. But this looks like this is a bad look, and it ended up just being the bad look.
Yeah.
It ended up being like the exact Karrion Kross route when Karrion Kross got rolled up by Jeff Hardy and then like released a month later or whatever. So yeah, I don't know about that one. Duke Hudson, he was released a little earlier in the week. I think he may have been full on released.
Oh, that big game lunch.
Think so?
Yeah.
Because he did release like a little video.
No, for sure TNHGCW, for sure. Because of SDL.
Is he...
The storyline in NXT a long time ago was that he was dating SDL.
Okay.
It makes the most sense.
Okay. Maybe. He becomes part of Deathmatch Royalty or whatever.
He'll feud with...
He starts going by Duke Deathmatch.
Okay. I like that one, actually. He'll probably feud with TNA.
Yeah.
To start it, though.
And then finally, Blair Davenport.
Start him.
Stardom.
No. Ooh.
Marigold.
Ooh. Yeah, I was about to say. Because Rossi.
And then potentially various Rev Pro Progress.
Yeah, but
UK situation.
UK stuff, but I don't know if she'll be Stardom or Marigold.
But you think she'll go back to a Japanese?
Yeah, because she was world champion over there before she came to WWE. So yeah, definitely.
Another confusing one because they called her up and just did nothing with her.
Yeah.
Like it feels like they call her up just for that shot of her being surprised she got called up.
Yeah. But then never used her.
And then just never used her, yeah. Next up, I didn't want to put this in quick hits because I wanted to talk it out a little bit more. Joe Hendry would like to see TNA DLC in WWE 2K25.
Of course he does. He'll be in it. And he wants the royalties. I would say the same thing.
But what I'm saying, here's what I have. WWE comes to you, Shane, and they're like, we need you to pick 6 wrestlers to put in this TNA DLC.
I'd be honored.
You get to pick whoever you want. We're already approving it. Just do it. We need someone to take care of this for us. Who are the 6 you're picking? Obviously, you can't pick anybody who's in AEW right now.
I would pick.
So that takes out like Samoa Joe and
I
Christian.
would pick the worst.
Jeff Jarrett.
They would hate the people I would pick. They would tell me fuck off right away.
Who are your 6?
Seriously or just as a joke?
Like your personal 6.
Monty Brown for sure.
Yep.
Because you could use Burger Squad in my faction.
Yep.
MCMG because they're probably not going to be in main game.
You don't think Motor City Machine Guns? Do you think they debuted too late to be in main game?
I think so.
Okay, but they could also be in a separate WWE DLC.
That's true. That's true. And it makes more sense to be TNA.
But do you want to use 2 of your slots on Motor City Machine Guns?
We'll get back to them.
Okay.
Steiner.
Scott Steiner. Okay.
Oh, sorry, he'll already be in the game. So not Scott Steiner. Angle.
Okay, TNA Angle.
Abyss.
That's a good one.
Ooh.
It's hard because you can't pick Christian, Samoa Joe, Jeff Jarrett. Trying to think of any other AEW, TNA. But yeah. You put Shark Boy in there?
In my drug one, yeah, for sure.
In your real one. Do you give those 2 slots to the machine guns?
Yeah, I go.
It could also just be like the 08 machine guns too.
Yeah, but that's
you know
what I
mean?
would do. Yeah, 08 machine guns, and then
one more slot.
Sonic Dut's AEW. Sonic Dut. 5 years ago, Sonic Dut for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do Lethal? Can we do Jarrett?
Could do Matt Morgan. Could do
Tyson Tomko.
Can't do Daniels. Can't do Sting. I mean, the Dudleys will probably be in the game anyway.
Let me do the Pope.
Oh, Elijah Burke?
Yeah.
Nice.
I love Elijah. I love Elijah Burke.
That's a great one.
My joke one would be Tito Ortiz, Toby Keith, Pac-Man Jones, Shark Boy, New Jack with the Hulk fist, and Karen Jarrett.
Nice. And then I didn't watch NXT, but Fandango returned. To
Oh,
NXT.
yeah. To a huge pop.
Huge pop. Everybody loves Fandango. Is he going to wrestle as Fandango? I don't think he is.
I don't think
he's
he's
wrestling as his TNA.
He'll wrestle as a
gimmick.
JDC, but I want to say he'll do the entrance. I think he'll do Fandango once.
Well, it said Fandango on the Tron when he
Yeah,
entered.
but he introduced himself as he called him Fandango, reintroduced himself as JDC.
Yeah.
So, but I think he'll do the whole shebang at
He'll
least
do the
once.
dance, yeah. And then, forgot I put this at the end of the WWE news. Lawyers state additional survivors have come forward in the Ring Boy lawsuit against WWE, Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon, and TKO. So I feel like I put this in here.
The Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon.
Yeah, I put this in here because I feel like the other Vince lawsuit has been getting a lot of coverage.
It has. Nobody
and
really
this has
talked about the
kind
Big
of
Boy
been
lawsuit.
buried by the Big Boy lawsuit.
Are we the only ones talking about the Big Boy lawsuit? It's kind of concerning. It's a huge deal because this is I think after Rita Charlton, but before anything else.
Mm-hmm.
This
is pre-steroids.
It doesn't.
Steroid
It doesn't. Hell, this is what they're gonna put him away on.
Yeah.
This is what they wanted to put away on. Was this?
So it feels like this is kind of being buried by the
The
media.
steroid trial was supposed to be the Ring Boy trial, but they had no evidence.
Okay.
So
yeah. So this is covered in the Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix. If you want more details on what the Ring Boy scandal is, I think you can kind of put it together pretty quickly just by the name of it. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like.
Covered it up. He protected Pat Patterson first of all the entire time. Pat worked until he died in WWE.
Yep.
So
Tony Atlas has some thoughts in the documentary. And Tony Atlas also has some fashion statements in the documentary.
Tony Atlas is a strange.
He was the MVP of that documentary.
Tony Atlas is a weird dude. His Twitter's weird. His outfits are weird. His usage of words is weird.
The sleeveless dress shirt is insane.
The sleeveless dress shirt. Talk about how he touched your pecker.
Oh my god. But anyway, yeah.
Back to the extremely serious topic at hand.
Yeah. Obviously, so we didn't really talk about more stuff came out with the Janelle Grant lawsuit recently. More text, more information. Brock Lesnar was named by name. Everybody under the sun has covered that. You know how I found this information?
Oh.
I was just scrolling through Fightful, reading headlines as I do every week for this podcast. I didn't see this anywhere else. I didn't see anywhere on Twitter. Nowhere on. I mean, I don't go on Instagram a lot, but nowhere on Instagram, nowhere on TikTok. Like nobody in the media was covering this, except for Fightful had one story about it. So,
my favorite clip, and I hope it's a shoot. I hope these are shoots all the time.
The sirens are back from last week.
Oh my god!
This is a repeat segment.
Scott Steiner is going to come on our podcast. It's our little cameo. No, but the most serious thing here is that I hope this is a shoot because it'd be so awesome. Terry Funk's debut in WWE is him beating the shit out of the guy named him in the lawsuit.
Huh.
So there you go.
Terry Funk wins again. To forever base Terry Funk. Also, Terry Funk once called Hayabusa, and I love that. Terry Punk. Terry Punk. It's Terry Funk.
I think call him Terry Punk. Like, you Shabu shoot name in here?
No. Terry Funk.
He's a great.
Forever based.
Great.
Quick hits. You already kind of ruined one of them, but we got two more.
Sorry, I thought I'd be talking about it in the news.
All right, so of course this is where I'm just going to read a couple headlines. I have two headlines, and I just want Shane's immediate thoughts on them. We'll go into detail. Ring of Honor to air matches from Chris Jericho Cruise next Thursday on ROH on Honor Club.
That's not going to be subscribed.
Okay. But when they did a Dynamite on the Cruise years ago, like first year of Dynamite, it was an awesome setting. And I think MJF got thrown in a pool.
Probably.
Which was really funny.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that was great. I remember watching that episode. It was a great episode. Brie Bella says Buddy is a natural wrestler. Her son with Bryan Danielson.
No shit.
Yeah.
No, look at the dad.
I mean, and mom. Mom had some wrestling ability too.
Mostly the dad.
Yes, of course.
It's a Brian Danielson.
Okay, yes, this is not a Seth Becky situation.
Brian Danielson put his child in a cattle mutilation first thing out of the womb. I guarantee it.
Just a 3-year-old doing those neck planks they have to do in Japan.
Yeah, you doesn't do it anymore because now they have him to do it. You know?
Yeah. And then of course Curryman announces his retirement from wrestling on Chris Jericho Cruise. We're to cover that.
Is he hot? Is he hot? Is he spicy? Does he taste great still though?
Mm. It would be funny if there was a new Curryman that took over
should
the
be.
mantle.
It's such a
because that's also
gimmick.
because that's something that happens like in comic books all the time. And Curryman is a very comic booky kind of comedy character.
Curryman Earth 216.
Yeah, Curryman 2 or something. I don't know. On to the TV of the week. Kind of a loaded week of TV. We'll start with AEW. On Dynamite, it was advertised as Will Ospreay versus a surprise member of the Don Callis family. That surprise member was Mark Davis, but he seems reluctant to be part of the Callis family. It's because he's under contract, is what it seems like the storyline they're going with here, is that Callis has an ironclad contract that Davis couldn't get out of. So he has to be part of the Callis family.
That's
interesting storyline.
Sneaky little fuck Cyrus the Virus.
Yeah.
Snuck it into his contract in small print.
Feels like a TNA storyline, and I mean that in the best way possible.
Look who's doing it. It's Don Callis.
But the difference is, for TNA, this would have been their main event storyline.
Yeah, fair.
In AEW, it's in the mid-card, where it should be.
Great point.
We got a big return this week of the Ass Boys. The Gun Club are back.
I was so excited for this because I think they are finally getting a title shot they deserve.
Yeah, they're confronting Lashley and Shelton, and they want their titles back.
It'd be bad if they won if it's not at Revolution.
Yeah, they're wrestling this week. So it may set up a match at Revolution, like a rematch or something, but really cool. Also, Jay White got some more allies against the Death Riders now. Finally got some of his boys back. Still no Juice.
Juice is at home.
Juice is still at the vet.
Juice is at the vet. He'll come like a cone. Probably on a leash of Tony Storm.
Juice is at home. He's got like a cone around his head. Yeah, Tony Storm's taking care of him. Make sure he gets his medicine. Whatnot. I want to talk about Takeshita and Fletcher versus the Hounds of Hell. This was a banger match. Brody and Buddy just meshed perfectly with Takeshita and Fletcher. Like, it was just such a good chemistry match. Really, really, if you haven't watched it, go check that out. And then we had an MJF promo. He's cutting a promo, and then earlier in the night, Max Caster had an interaction with Hangman, and then Hangman was chasing Max Caster. So Caster runs through the ring. MJF gets in his face. He's like, no, I'm just running from Hangman. And then Caster runs off, and Hangman comes in. And for the second time, we get a little face-to-face MJF Hangman. Theory. I think they're going to tease this out a bit, and this might be their all-in match.
Hangman's going to murder MJF and then turn face?
Well, also, like, Hangman, he's going to be in a Texas death match on that card.
Probably, yeah.
Right? It's all in Texas.
Well, it's got to be, yeah.
So MJF would be the perfect chicken shit heel to put him in a...
I'll bring the skewers. Don't worry. I will hide them better than Warhorse's little twink.
Yep. So that was great, little bit. And then MJF continues, and he's interrupted by Dustin Rhodes, who cut an incredible promo.
I do not care for MJF at the moment. I think it just doesn't click with me right now.
Mm-hmm.
But Dustin Rhodes, holy
dude,
shit.
this gave me goosebumps.
I'm in.
Dustin gave me
in for this.
Goosebumps,
I don't
dude.
care who wins or loses. I am in for this match.
I'm like, Dustin Rhodes beat MJF and then beat Jon Moxley for the title. Let's just go full Dustin.
No, why stop there? Why stop there?
Yeah, then beat Jericho for the Ring of Honor title. Go over to Japan, beat ZSJ.
Roll up your brother at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I did like that. MJF was about to mention Cody, and like midway through saying your little baby brother, Dustin just punches him in the face. Just that perfect Dustin Rhodes punch. I love a good. He's an incredible wrestler.
He's the natural. Literally.
It is so disappointing how much of his last days in wrestling are being wasted on Sammy fucking Guevara.
Yeah.
It is
Yup.
unfortunate,
Yup.
but I don't know. And then we had
At least he won't be in Australia. I'll give you that part.
yeah, and then we had Toni Storm continuing to be the best character in wrestling and portraying the part of Mariah May for her match with Queen Aminata.
So
Pretty good match, but the emphasis of this was she
Yes,
was pretending
it
to be
was,
Mariah
yes.
May, which was incredible.
my roommate was sitting next to me doing something on his tablet, and he looks up, and the entire match, he's just in awe.
Yeah, of course. Everybody was.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
It was just in like the storyline bit of it was just
I
hilarious.
also love the clearly mismatching extensions too.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
that was, and they were like falling.
It's the little things.
The way they were falling out throughout the match.
It's the little things like that, where like this is obviously a role she doesn't care for.
She's obviously, and they're also sort of insults.
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
it. Yeah, the way she's acting.
It's such a good character.
And then we
I
can
fear-
talk about this now.
I fear we might have to change the rules of best gimmick today because she's a win it again.
Yeah, yeah. Luther returned on Collision too, because Mariah May wrestled some local jobber.
That's my boy.
And then she put the Timeless Toni Storm like black robe over the jobber, and then Luther returned, distracting Mariah, and then Tony swapped places with the jobber. It was incredible. This whole thing has been such a fun, campy, just awesome feud. Everything with Toni Storm is
I
perfect.
cannot believe that Dr. Luther, A, is still going.
Yeah.
B, is in like the prime of his career right now. Outside of maybe the 90s.
I mean,
It's
this
so
is
weird.
Apex Mountain.
Yeah, probably.
Butler Luther has got to be his Apex Mountain. And then
Was he not in the 95 Deathmatch tournament? And it has to be, yeah.
so that was just incredible. Like, dude, Toni Storm's so awesome. Just continues to be my favorite women's wrestler ever. Just so good.
Such a good character.
And then Ricochet and Swerve, incredible match. Really fun. And the important part is Ricochet stole Jimmy Rave's robe. I was like, almost forgot the
I
word.
wish it was a longer match, though. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it felt a little cut down for TV. But what I like about this is now there's like there's a thing to fight for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is.
Like before it was Swerve insulting Ricochet, and now Ricochet's bit back, and now he's made Swerve angry for real, and we're gonna get all out Swerve. You know what I mean?
Probably. Hoping this goes to all in, honestly, because this feud has the legs too.
Oh yeah, it would be, yeah. I mean, there's so much history between these guys to start,
This
and then throwing this in with the Jimmy Rave thing.
And it wouldn't do it. But what if Swerve wins Evolution, but Ricochet takes the scissors and cuts a little bit off of the robe? They have to get the okay from like everybody from Jimmy Rave's family, everybody. But if Ricochet,
Well, here's how you do it. You swap it out with a replica.
yeah.
You do a replica
Oh,
robe.
that's so good. It's
You-
so good.
The real robe goes back to Prince Nana's house, and you swap it out off TV with a
Oh,
replica
that'd be so.
and cut up. So you're not cutting up the real
my
one, but
God.
nobody knows that. Oh my god, that would be incredible. That would be, oh my god, what a moment. And then Swerve just going berserk.
Dude, another cage match from hell and all in, dude. Oh, dude.
Incredible. But yeah, I'm really excited for where this continues to go. Collision, not as big as Dynamite, but a few things here. There was a triple trios match, which was not great, but fun. But what I want to talk about is there was a little tease in there with Garcia and Kyle O'Reilly. What would you think of that as a Revolution match for the TT title?
I'd like it. It'd be fun.
I think it'd be awesome. And then the best moment of Collision. The tie. There's a tie for the best moments of Collision. First, Bandito and Brian Keith had a great match, but that duel spot where they did like the Western thing where they pace off and then they run in and both kick each other.
That rule.
Perfect.
I love
That
that
was
so,
so
I love that
good.
so much.
So good. And then hologrammers unite. The upgrade was completed. I love that though.
I love how he said.
I love framing his injury time off as him upgrading.
He had to update his software. I love how he's
updated to Windows 12 or whatever.
Casual like a hoodie and jeans and the mask still on.
Yeah, that's awesome. Comes out, him and Commander beat up LFI. But there's a numbers game here. We have Dralistico. We have Roosh. We have the Beast Mortos. On the other side, we have Commander and Hologram. Who do you want to see fill that third spot? And
Who to go?
Who to go? I was going to say Mascara Dorada.
Yeah, because they're going to do a CMLL collision, I think.
Are they?
Or something like Ring of Honor or collision.
Oh, Ring of Honor is just becoming like basically a CMLL co-branded show.
Fine, I will subscribe to Honor Club.
Yeah,
the
Jericho Cruise doesn't move you, but Mystico and Templario gets you.
Yes,
that's fair.
Yes,
that's fair.
It does.
That is fair. Obviously, Mystico would be a great choice as well.
Oh my God, we're probably gonna see Mystico all in.
Would that be cool?
Oh
cool.
yeah.
But I like this. I like Lucha War. I like this.
I do. That's so cool.
On to WWE. Pretty good up week at WWE TV. On Raw. Okay, here's how I'm gonna start this. Jey Uso comes out to a huge pop, new orange Yeet shirt. He's a fruity Pebblin up a storm.
He's doing Taz.
Yep. He's doing the Cena Fruity Pebbles thing.
He really is.
He cuts a bad promo that left me in a continued state of confusion as to why he won the Royal Rumble.
Because he's over.
Yeah. Here's the thing, guys. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but over the last number of months, maybe in honestly the last year plus, WWE takes every opportunity to tell you how much money they made at a show. You know what I mean? They take every opportunity to tell you this is the highest grossing WWE show. This is the highest gate of any WWE show outside of the U.S. Or this is the highest gate of any WWE arena pay-per-view or whatever. You know what I mean? They are being abundantly clear. They are being blatantly clear that the money is what matters. They are telling you to your face every chance they can get, the money matters, the art doesn't. Which is why Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. Because he sells hella Yeet shirts. And it's really funny that this comes from him not knowing he had to do a press conference and getting drunk. And then having to do a press conference after he won the tag titles with Cody. So Jey Uso's accidental drunkenness has led to this selling so many shirts, so many sunglasses. I saw on TikTok somebody got a tattoo of a Squirtle with the Yeet glasses on.
Oh, dude.
Like, he sells.
I told you
that's why he won.
I told you multiple times about the stupid guy with the face tattoos, the neck tattoo, with the off-brand pink Yeet hoodie.
Exactly. Like, he sells. That's why. Because WWE has made it clear the money comes first, the art comes second, and he's the money right now. So I guess I have to pose it to you. What's most interesting, Jay Gunther or Jay Cody?
So when I get drunk, I don't become a multi-million-dollar sensation like Jey Uso does. I feel like that's terrible.
When I get drunk, I usually just end up watching old basketball highlights.
See that Vince Carter, man? He was so... Look at that dunk. Look at that dunk.
Yeah.
Al Farouk Aminu, man. Oh.
Damn, Tracy McGrady. God, 13 points in 30
I got that
seconds.
jersey somewhere. I got that jersey somewhere. I think it's the magic one, too.
Yeah. So who, Jey Uso versus Gunther or Jay versus Cody? What moves you more?
Oh, I'd rather not have either of them.
Obviously, you'd rather not have either one of them.
Jey Uso versus...
I think Gunther moves me more.
Sikoa.
I think the Gunther one.
It's probably going to be Gunther, yeah. Because Gunther could probably get a good match out of him.
Yeah. I mean, he had a pretty good match with Gunther at Saturday night's main event. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just not happy about it. Charlotte Flair. My exact note here is Charlotte Flair attempts to be a babyface. No one likes it.
She looks horrible, by the way.
Yeah, it really
a concerning horrible.
You know, it's the give and take of being a nepo baby. You know what I mean? The positive is you get just to jump the line right undeservingly to the top of the company. The bad part is that as you age, you will become a weird leathery freak like your father, Ric Flair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the amount of fake tanner that is used at every WWE show really doesn't help that Flair skid.
No.
But what'd you think of the promo?
I didn't like it at all.
She was like trying to be so sincere, and everybody was like, "No, we don't like you."
What's going to happen, right? They're about to find their way into another Bryan Danielson situation with Tiffany. I guarantee it.
Yeah, really, the best way to take this is to turn Tiffany babyface. Because people already want to cheer Tiffany. She's so over because she's awesome. Nobody wants to cheer Charlotte. So you make it a heel thing. You make Tiffany the underdog that has to overcome Charlotte Flair and take the role that Charlotte Flair used to have in the company. Because, as I've said before, Tiffany is basically Charlotte Flair, except for she does everything better than Charlotte Flair does. And then there was this awesome final act of Raw where they just parlayed a great promo into a great match, into a great angle. So we start with Seth Rollins. He cuts a promo about how much he hates CM Punk, basically. Brings out Sami Zayn. Fires up Sami Zayn for his match. As Seth is leaving and Punk comes out, a bunch of referees have to keep them from fighting each other.
Which is great.
Just on site for them. Love that. Punk and Sami have an awesome match. And then afterwards, KO attacks Sami. Did he do the package power driver?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I was like, I thought he did, but I was blanking on it. What did you think of this whole, 3-step?
I think
thing?
Triple H needs to not be the house of balls. Give them real ladders, not your stupid gimmick ladders. Go to the Home Depot about the ladders.
And go to the Home Depot in Reseda, California.
Specifically that one. And get them some goddamn ladders.
Mania's in Vegas. It's not too far away.
It's 4 hours. You can do it in a U-Haul truck any day.
Yeah. I thought this was incredible. It was a great way to end Raw. I loved the flow of it. The way it went from promo to match to angle, just felt perfect.
I still think this should be for a title.
Felt like real TV writing, the way it went from one thing to the next.
I still think it should be for a title. However, I'm never going to say no to Sami versus Kevin, ever.
Kevin Owens looking to have his second feud with a former friend/tag team partner that should be for a world title but won't be.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania.
Yeah.
SmackDown, just some quick stuff. Pretty Deadly earns number one contendership to tag team titles, so I imagine they'll probably face Gargano and Ciampa at Elimination Chamber.
Probably.
And then from there we will set up the triple TLC, hopefully, between triple something between the Machine Guns, the Profits, and DIY.
Come on, Ultimate X, please.
That would be awesome.
All the ladders have been used up by Sami and Kevin.
Would you throw Pretty Deadly in there as a fourth team, or would you
sure,
just keep
why
the
not?
three? Okay, yeah. I'll get we ball.
I would love to see if it actually is Ultimate X. I would love to see MCMG use their experience to the advantage.
Yeah, that would be great. LA Knight cut a promo that I think got a lot of play online, where he just stopped mid-promo to address men's mental health, which I thought was really funny and awesome, and did it in such a smooth LA Knight way, and then just went right back to ragging on Drew McIntyre, which I thought was great. And it's caused a lot of people to be like, just do LA Knight Drew. Make that botch from the Rumble into a storyline where Drew is now upset with LA Knight because he a sort of real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of the best storylines of all time are turning something real into something, worked.
Sean Brett.
Yeah, I mean that's a much more severe case of turning something.
Drew, I have a good authority. You also had sex with Sonny.
I don't know. I think I'd like that a lot.
I would say it'd be
It
great.
feels like a good WrestleMania match.
I still, that promo was still kind of out of nowhere.
We already talked about Tiffany Charlotte, and then for the love of God.
Are you ready for Jey Uso versus Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania? No. Think about it.
I think it's more likely Jay will wrestle Solo at Elimination Chamber because there's like usually that match where like the Rumble winner faces somebody else. I remember when Batista won the Rumble. I think he had a match with like Del Rio at Elimination Chamber. So they do that. I think that's more likely. But he also attacked Cody, and dude, we're never gonna get away from this fuck ass family, dude. It's gonna go on forever. There's this tweet that gets like the screenshot posted around all the time where it's like the bloodline ruined wrestling. And it's every day it becomes more and more real. Look, I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's, they're in the game. They're in the top of the company. They're in the bottom of the company. I don't know what the hell Zilla's doing.
Zilla's been... Has he been ID'd? Was he WWE ID yet? No. I mean, he's somewhere. He's being trained by Booker T. They're everywhere. We can't get away from them.
There's ones that do death matches nowadays.
God. It's just going to go on forever. Solo Sikoa, negative excitement level to see anything he does.
Zero.
I think he sucks the life out of every angle, match, storyline,
so promising
promo.
in NXT, and they immediately took off to the main roster.
The problem is they pulled him out of developmental too fast. He wasn't ready. He was Bronny James. should have gone to college another year. It's also nepotism here.
I was gonna say it's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
It's a great comp, Bronny James.
Yeah, that's accidentally a great comp. Yeah.
Bronny is the worst player in NBA 2K, where Solo will not be.
Yeah, for some reason they always make Robert Roode the worst overall in 2K, which is mean. It's a mean thing to do to Robert Roode.
They're still in the game, Robert, but he'll be a 65 this time.
Yeah, he's getting like the same. He's getting lower overall levels than Pat McAfee's friends.
Fucking toxic table could beat Robert Roode.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
God. Oh, and say something, AJ Hawk. Every clip, you're just staring at the camera. I don't watch the show, but every clip I see, you're just staring blankly into nothing. You want to talk about New Japan, please? Can we talk about some good wrestling? God, why are they even in the game? Okay. So New Japan's New Beginning will be, as we're recording this, late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Weird date for a show. I don't know why it's like this, but it's New Japan. They do things differently there. We have 9 matches here to predict. Of course, with our confidence point system, that means the most confident match you have, you'll do 9 points on that match. 8 points on the second most confident, on and on down to whatever you're least confident in, you'll give 1 point. Hopefully we have a better showing than last predictions, where on the Royal Rumble, we did a whopping 12-10, a total of 22 points.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We did so good in the Rumble.
So let's hope we do better. We start with the Ace Retirement Tour. Hiroshi Tanahashi taking Togi Makabe.
It sucks because I might see the one match he loses on his retirement tour. I'm going to say Tanahashi for sure. Okay. Oh, no, because he'll lose to we'll get there later.
So you're going with I went with Tanahashi for 9 points.
I went with 7 points.
Tanahashi for 7. Okay. This is my most confident. It's like he's not going to lose to Togi Makabe.
He's not going to lose to Makabe. Makabe's pretty popular though still, but it's Tanahashi.
Yeah. Shingo Takagi versus Drilla Maloney. Drilla, I love you.
Yeah,
I'm going Shingo for 8.
Shingo 8, yeah.
Yeah. It's I love Drilla. It's just this is just how it goes.
It's not his time.
Not his time yet. We got Great Khan versus Shota Umino. I think Shota needs a win here, so I'm going to go Shota for 6.
I would agree with you. I would pick 3.
Shota for 3. Okay, you think there's a better chance?
I kind of think he could win this.
Could pull some off?
He could win it, yeah.
We got Taichi versus Sonata. I really feel like Sonata needs a win.
I love Taichi.
Taichi's been doing good work.
Desperately needs a win here.
But I went with Sonata for 3 just for that reason, because I think Taichi really could win.
5.
All right, Sonata for 5. Then our first of 5 title matches here. The Ichiban Sweet Boys, Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita, against Roppongi Revice, which is Rocky Romero and Yo, for the junior heavyweight tag titles.
I just don't see Rocky winning the titles.
I'm going to go with the Sweet Boys for 4.
Sweet Boys 6.
All right. Next, we have Konosuke Takeshita defending the Ever Openweight title against Oleg Boltin.
I want to make sure that I have whatever's that left.
Looks like you have 1, 2, 4, and 9.
All right, I'm good.
I went with Takeshita for 7.
Takeshita 4.
Okay. And then our IWGP World Tag Team title match, the Young Bucks take on LIJ's Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito.
This one I had no idea on. Because I'm not sure if
I
it's
went
soon or later.
I went with the Bucks for 2.
I went with LIJ 1.
LIJ for 1?
I want LIJ to win. So
okay. Yota Tsuji versus Gabe Kidd for the IWGP Global title. I put 1 point on this because I'm picking Gabe Kidd to upset. I think that's not super likely because Tsuji just won the belt, but Gabe Kidd's over, dude.
Tsuji is going to win. Give me 2 on that. And then I think what's going to happen is there's going to be beef between Finlay and Kidd that's going to build up
to Bullet Club Civil War 2?
Yes, but for the big one.
Okay.
Which one
this will be on. Like when they did Civil War again, but it was Iron Man and Captain Marvel?
Yes.
Okay. I like that.
Captain fucking New Japan.
Captain New Japan, yes. And then we have Zack Sabre Jr. defending the IWGP title against Haruki Goto. I think when this match was announced, my confidence points would have been much higher, but you've slowly driven down my confidence. So I'm still picking Zack, but I went 5 here.
Goto 9.
Goto for 9.
You're so confident on this.
You're putting putting your house on the underdog.
The vibes have never been more in the favor of Goto. The vibes.
It's gonna be crazy when this costs you the win.
The vibes are. I don't care. The vibes are there.
When we get to the main event, and I'm like up by 2, and you need Goto to win, and it just doesn't happen.
The vibes are there. The story is there. Mm-hmm. Everything is there. Mm-hmm. Everything is there for a Goto win.
Yeah. So you think he does a new beginning in Osaka? You think
it's a new beginning? It's time.
There's a new
shed the story if you can't win the big one.
Yeah. Let me see something here. Yeah, it's possible, but I don't think it'll happen. Like I said, you've slowly made me less and less confident. I'm still picking Zack, though. That's still what I'm going for here. So let's hope. Most of all, I just hope we do better than we did with the Rumble. That was an embarrassing performance for us.
I agree.
22 points combined out of, I think there were 10 each. So we each could have scored if we'd gotten everything right on that one, you would have scored 55 points. So out of a potential 55 points each, we did not score very high. All right, tape up the light tubes and take the door off its hinges. It's time for Shane's GCW Corner.
All right, so this one's going to be a little bit different because they didn't have an event last week, but they have a pretty big one coming up. So let's talk about the Jersey J Cup. Winner, of course, will win the JCW World Championship, currently held by one Masha Stanovich.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know at all who could even come close to winning this.
Who are all the announced competitors? Do you have that list?
I do. Alec, so I believe they all been announced. I could be wrong, though. Joey Janela, Atticus Cogar, Erez, Clark Connors, Rich Swan, Drew Parker, Marcus Mathers, Jack Cartwheel, Jackson Drake, Cole Raderick, Alec Price, Kevin Knight, Leon Slayer, Amazing Red, Masha.
I think that's 15.
That sounds about right.
So there would be probably one more.
which I think might be Gabe Kidd, but I could be wrong.
Did you say Gabe Kidd?
Yeah, I think
He's
so.
definitely in it. So Gabe Kidd. Okay, so they've all been announced. I don't want this to sound rude, but I feel like this is kind of below Gabe Kidd. I think maybe people would think he's a favorite, but it doesn't seem like something he would actually end up winning.
Yeah.
Just mostly because I think his attention is in Japan and not on GCW at all. Masha could retain through. I kind of like Joey to win it.
Either Joey, but he's got Atticus Cover in the first round, so that's so.
Ooh, that is a rough first round matchup. That's
my shot in the dark. I think it could be Cole Radrick.
Could be. Cole Radrick's hot. Yeah.
Let's say one of you because he has the best ring too.
I want Erez to go far, but I don't think that'll
happen.
happen.
I want the win.
I don't think that'll happen, but I'm pulling for Erez. I love me a lucha guy. I really think if I was putting like a prediction down on it, I think I'd have to go with Masha retaining through.
That's a pretty good one. I think I'm gonna go with. Oh man! Oh, there's even more people. Oh my god! Okay. All right. Here's the full.
Oh, there's more people. You missed people.
There's a full field. Masha, Amazing Red, Marcus Mathers, Jack Cartwheel, Fuego del Sol, Alec Price, Mr. Danger, Sidney Akeem, Leon Slater, Drew Parker, Clark Connors, Rich Swan, Drake. I can't remember what his full name is, but he's there. Erez, Atticus Cogar, Joey Janela, Cole Radrick, Mason, and Yaki.
Okay.
So that probably doesn't change anything.
I think I'm still going with Masha.
Yeah, okay.
I think I'm still going with Masha.
I would love to see Drew Parker. But I think Leon Slater might do it too.
Did you say Gabe Kidd in there? Did he get pulled?
He's not from the tournament. He's in a non-tournament match.
He's in a non-tournament match.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he was in the tournament.
So did I at first, but I guess he's not.
Okay. So he's just wrestling on the card. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I gotta go Masha. I think that's just where I like the idea of Janela pulling it off, but I think I gotta go Masha. Anything else on GCW? Like you said, it was a light week.
Yeah.
Starting to see some announcements rolled in for the collective. I think was it Miyu Yamashita was announced for Bloodsport.
Will be at Bloodsport. I think also she'll be at of course with TJPW.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Miyu Watanabe will be at collective too.
Mm-hmm.
Rio will be at Progress Las Vegas.
Yeah.
She'll probably show up on some GCW show too. There's just been so much to. Collective, of course, will be probably the big thing talking about. The clusterfuck is back, of course.
Yep. Sabu's retirement, we'll see that.
Yeah, Sabu's retirement. Yeah. Super crazy, I guess. Why we'll be visiting Joey Janela on March 1st? Because why not?
Yep.
And that's kind of all I have for GCW right now.
Yep.
This is gonna be.
No, that's a different thing. You can worry about it later. It was just I just saw a tweet of a list of fake names that WWE trademarked, so I sent it to him. But let's go to our favorite things of the week. This, of course, is where I hand out the gold, silver, and bronze hot dog. Shane hands out the gold, silver, and bronze handshake. Shane, as always, let's start with your bronze handshake. What's the
I want to go with. I think I'm going to go with Mark Briscoe versus Cal Fletcher.
All right. Honorable mention to Bandito and Brian Keith. I want to give that.
Yes.
They just didn't quite make the cut for me. My bronze also involves Kyle Fletcher, but it is Takeshita and Fletcher versus Brody and Buddy. Great week for Kyle Fletcher. Big week for Kyle Fletcher. What is your silver?
It's gonna be Pug versus Sammy. Plus Kevin Owens.
All right. My silver, I'm going to go with Dustin Rhodes and MJF.
It's fair.
I think that was probably the best single segment I saw this week.
I just didn't like MJF's side of the promo all that much compared to Dustin's.
But like I said, Dustin gave me goosebumps.
Dustin, I was so in for it.
Yeah. What's the gold?
Tony Storm.
Tony Storm? She didn't quite make mine. It was awesome. I think she would be another honorable mention for me. But my number one, I went with like the whole final act of Raw as one. I mean, we've given it to whole shows before, so this is
that's
fair. It's kind of cheating, kind of putting three things in one, but Seth, Sammy, Punk, and KO, just that whole final bit of Raw.
Mine is Sammy, Punk, and it came after that too, so it's fair.
Yeah, so that's what I go with. But obviously, an incredible week.
Oh,
could have thrown in the Tony thing. Could have thrown in the Bandito. Could have thrown in that LA Knight promo. Hologram. We Ricochet and Swerve. Like, we didn't put that in there. So great week. The Guns. On to the upcoming matches this week. Starting with, we got a lot here in the lightning round. This is where Shane will give me his excitement level for each match we'll see this week on a scale of 1 to 10. We start with Raw, where Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez will take on Kai and Sky. Dakota Kai and Io Sky.
I think I'm going to go with a 7 here.
I think they're going to build to Liv and Raquel challenging for the tag titles at Mania.
Thank God. Just thank God. To keep her away from any title, please.
Natalya versus Lyra Valkyria Elimination Chamber qualifier.
A 5.
Yeah, Lyra should definitely win.
Easily.
Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul Elimination Chamber qualifier.
Oh, did 2.
Logan will win. Rey should win. On AEW Dynamite, we got the Death Riders defending the Trios titles for the first time in a while against Cole, O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong.
They should have been shipped to the titles a long time ago, but that's just me.
No more 60-day rules in wrestling.
I think it's 7.
7, yeah. Cole, O'Reilly, and Strong should win this.
Yeah, no,
they would be much more interesting.
Yeah,
Trios
they should. Yeah.
Also, a little DeParty on DeParty violence here. Claudio and Adam Cole.
That Udo game's gonna get a lot more spicier now.
Yep. MJF versus Dustin Rhodes.
Oh,
after the promo, it's a 10. It's a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And the Hurt Syndicate versus the Gun Club for the tag team titles.
A 9.
I would say that might also be a 10.
It's close. It's really close to me.
On SmackDown, we're going to see the Motor City Machine Guns versus Los Garza.
Ooh, man. If this is anywhere else, it'd be a 10.
Motor City Machine Guns certainly wrestled Hector Garza at some point.
They had to have. In TNA, yeah. I'll give it an 8.
Yeah. Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman versus Damian Priest in a certified sirloin beefsteak elimination chamber qualifier.
Get Damian Priest the fuck out of there.
I think Jacob's going to win this and be like the guy in the chamber that's definitely not going to win, but it's kind of frisky.
I hope.
Because they always have one of those in the chambers.
A 9.
Yeah. Naomi versus Chelsea Green elimination chamber qualifier.
Ooh, they'll give it an 8.
Put Chelsea in the chamber. That'd be so
They have
funny,
to.
dude.
They have to.
And then Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax for the women's title. I don't know why this isn't over already, but
a 3.
Yeah. And then Grand Slam Australia takes the place of Collision this week. Our first match is Mercedes Moné versus Harley Cameron for the TBS Championship.
I'm so sorry, but a 5.
I'm in on Harley. She's been incredibly entertaining.
I don't like her in the ring, but she's great. She's great as a promo.
All right. In a Brisbane brawl, Adam Copeland and Jay White take on Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli.
What does that even imply?
I think it's just a street fight, but it's just because they're in Brisbane. It's the same as when it's like a Philly street fight or whatever.
Yeah, I'll go to 6. I'll go a 9.
Kazuchika Okada versus Buddy Matthews for the Continental title.
That would be a fun one. I can see Buddy winning that.
I was going to say, hot take, Buddy should win this.
I'll give it a 9.
Give it a 9. Mariah May versus Toni Storm
10.
for the AEW Women's title.
10 of the week.
And Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle
Also
Fletcher.
10.
So the 10 of the week is Mariah Tony?
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think that's 10 of the week.
No Lucha War?
No Lucha War yet. They teased it. That feud will continue. Don't worry. Maybe they'll throw something in there by the time we get to Grand Slam. Match recommendation of the week. I'm going to go with, because Buddy Murphy is challenging at Grand Slam Australia, Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali, 205 Live, July 3rd, 2018. It is a no disqualification match, and it rules.
Crazy.
It is so good. This match was at a time when I was like watching 205 Live consistently because I was just watching like all the wrestling I could, and it was one of those things where I was like, how did nobody else watch this? This was awesome. And as time has gone on, more and more people have spread the good word of Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali, and it has gotten very popular online. It's a great match, and everybody should check it out. If you want to listen to more of us, we got classic reviews. We just put out Noah Navigate for Evolution 2003, which is Kobashi versus Misawa, which if you don't know anything about Japanese wrestling, that's like the biggest match they could have possibly done. And if you do know things about Japanese wrestling, you already know that. You should be excited. You should go check it out anyway. I think we still make it fun for people who haven't watched Japanese wrestling deep into it, because I'm not deep into it, so there's like a perspective there. And coming out later this week will be WWE St. Valentine's Day Massacre from 1999. Technically an In Your House, kind of separate.
Yeah.
So definitely check that out. We'll be back next week, and just make sure you enjoy wrestling.